beautiful Puget Sound just to our west. You get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Smith, his first carry. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Check your hot read. Hatchet, hatchet. Shift. Check 24, check 24.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
You're trapped. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch the edge. The mic. Got it. Watch the twist. Check 37.
Penny, a 1st down carry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check Mike.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Yeah. Hey, we got tight left, tight ends left. Hey, 4 down. Watch 88.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Jackson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Atlanta.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's coming. We got double up. Under 10. 10. Kill. Switch.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This one caught by Ridley. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
At their own 15-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Watch the run.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Check. Green 80. Check. 45. Alert.
They go play action now. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's got his man. This is Tate. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
All day, baby, all day.
Now it's Penny running right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
36 power.
Let's go, baby. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've had it twice, they've punted twice, not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
names for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
Too many
three-syllable word.
syllables, yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Tackles. Tackle. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check, 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 check. Look. Showing it. Up, up.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. On the counter, it's Smith, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, He was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Let's go, first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
54.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give to Smith out of the gun. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On the draw, it's Jackson. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Smith. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Catanzaro's kick is good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
In your face.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Let's go, D.
Now Rashad Penny. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just you and you.
Again, it's Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. He completes it to Tate.
Wilson's pass complete to number 87. Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Penny. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss.
45, Mike, 45. All day.
Go 14.
Any day. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45.
Front left.
I'm trying to collect.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Double dog, that's the way. Check, boys.
To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to get it to Ito Smith that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check 24.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
After the interception, here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Penny. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, switch gears.
They'll run with Penny. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Badgley able to knock this one through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run it again with Smith. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now they'll run it again with Penny. Call it a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Isaiah Oliver broken down. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 5.
215.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson throwing again. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
On 1st down, Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? scored a touchdown there, those will be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
That's going to be a long day. Why? Get wide.
After the sack on first down, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Check 15, check 15.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And it's complete. Hooper. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Switch. Kill. Shoot.
To throw again is Jackson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Ito Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Hey, watch that.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Fielded at the 33. Nearly a huge return. As it is, still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Jackson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
This is Penny, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Green 80!
Check 45 to Mike. I smell fear in that offense.
Wilson now off the bootleg. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Wilson on the keeper.
Double time. 4 down. Check.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Booster team.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.